Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about something that, while it aligns with my channel, it's something that I feel like I don't really speak on a lot. And I feel like I relate to it a lot, and I think other people might as well if they're kind of like me. I want to talk about vulnerability on the internet. And this is kind of a huge topic for me because personally, I'm a very vulnerable person. I like to share my life story. I like to share my struggles, my trauma, because I feel like when you open up to people, it makes them feel safe in a way that they can open up to you. And I don't use it to like take advantage of people, but I do it to make people feel more comfortable with me and make them feel like they can be themselves if they see me being myself. So in real life, I'm quite vulnerable. If I make a friend, I usually kind of expose everything immediately. I've done a lot of thinking about it, and I used to feel really bad because I felt like I was trauma dumping, but like I said, I feel like when it's the right place and time and you're talking to someone about something that's near and dear to you, and when you're talking about something that has created defining characteristics in your life, it's kind of reassuring to hear the reasons why someone is the way they are. And I was about to say why they is the way they is. Personally, for me, it's kind of reassuring to hear why people are the way they are and understand them a little better when people share. And so when I share, I'm kind of trying to do that favor for other people. I'm not trying to get advice. I'm not trying to get something out of it. I'm not trying to put all my burdens on them, but I am trying to open a door for open communication. And usually I feel like it's my job to do that when I do share things about myself. Now, it has gotten me into trouble in the past multiple times in terms of sharing too early or sharing too much all at once. And I can understand like why that might be overwhelming for people. I can understand why some people don't necessarily want to hear it all the time, especially recently when I've been going through a lot of really, really hard times and hard traumas. It has made itself evident that I have overshared, and I have a problem with oversharing, and I do it with good intentions, but sometimes people either can't handle it or don't want to handle it or don't want to feel responsible for it. And I completely understand that because my trauma and my situation and my life is mine to handle. And I've talked to my therapist about it quite a bit, and I've talked to my mom about it a lot. And we've kind of come to the conclusion that I need to do a better job of protecting myself, because there are also times when I overshare with someone and I think that vulnerability equals a relationship or it equals trust. And that's not necessarily true. And so in terms of protecting myself, I think that when I share with someone, I think that now that they know everything about me, they're not going to leave. And sometimes that happens. And I just need to think about who I'm okay with knowing everything about me. And while I want it to be everyone, because I have this deep need to be understood and be listened to and be heard, that's why I have a YouTube channel. That's why I have a podcast. That's why I choose the captions I do on Instagram. I just feel like I'm screaming out into the void and I'm just begging someone to listen. And sometimes the right people will listen, but sometimes the wrong people listen. And sometimes the wrong people take advantage of me, and the fact that I've shared so much with them and then get taken advantage of makes it hurt even worse. So I'm working on protecting myself and protecting my life story and treating it with value and holding it up here instead of putting it down here for everyone to have access to. Because I saw this quote on Instagram, I'll put it right here, and it kind of changed my whole perspective on giving people access to me and giving people access to my emotions and giving them power over me, because some people will use your life story as power against you. So anyways, that's my spiel about me being vulnerable in real life. And now I want to talk about being vulnerable on the internet, because I'm a very vulnerable person on the internet as well. And I do it because I want people to feel understood. I want people to relate to how I feel and not feel alone, because that's why I make these videos. And that's why I talk on my podcast, is because I feel so alone that I don't want other people to go through that. I want people to see that in my vlogs, I take my meds every morning. In my chit chat videos, I talk about living with my ex-boyfriend. Like, I talk about all of these huge details of my life and these things that have intense emotional weight that I don't know if everyone values. And I'm finding my niche, I'm finding my niche on the people who do value that, because I have the amount of subscribers I have and I get the amount of views that I have, and people I feel like can relate to me, and that's why they watch my videos, because I am vulnerable. But there is a level of protection that you have to have for yourself on the internet, because the internet is a scary place. Like, if I write a poem as my Instagram caption, or I post a selfie and I carefully curate the caption that I put in, my Instagram captions all are like double meanings. They're a song lyric that relates to a part of my life, or they're a poem I wrote that explains the situation that I'm going through. But when people don't respond to it, I feel like I'm shouting into the void. And that's why I like YouTube, is because you get a like or you get a view and you're like, at least people saw it. At least I can see tangibly that I'm reaching people. And maybe this video is making them not feel alone, or maybe this video is entertaining them, or maybe they're just curious on who Jayda is and they're getting a little glimpse into that. But I don't need to lay it all out there. I don't need to let strangers know every inkling of my life. And what I choose to share and what I choose not to share is a little harder to navigate on YouTube, because I feel like it's a more curated audience. I feel like it's a very specific audience. I feel like if I'm going to be vulnerable on the internet, it's going to be on YouTube. And I still need to just be careful and protect myself, because that's where parasocial relationships come in. Not only my subscribers to me, but me to the people I subscribe to. I have developed multiple parasocial relationships, not in like a way that I'm being toxic, but in a way where I feel like they're my friends, and they're not. They're their own people and they've got their own shit going on, and they don't share everything on the internet. So I need to take a leaf out of some of my favorite creators' books and protect myself and give myself a little bit of privacy in terms of who I am and what I've gone through. But I really just want to be heard. And YouTube is the place to be heard, but it's not the place for me to tell you guys about all this shit with my father. And it's not the place to tell you about all the things that have happened in the last 6 months to me. And while they are pieces of who I am and they're creating this person that I am today, I'm not gonna trauma dump on the internet, you know? I talked a little bit in my podcast about my college experience, and I listened back to it and I was like, should I have shared everything that I shared? And it does give insight to who I am, and it does give a inside look to what my experiences are like. I also think that my college experience was deeply intimate to me and deeply meaningful, and I'm grateful that I shared what I shared, because I had a couple people reach out to me and tell me that they related to what I was saying, and that's really powerful too, because that's all I want. I want people to not feel alone, but I also need to set boundaries with myself. And I don't know if this is like a realization that most YouTubers have gone through. I'm not big by any means. I'm not a big channel. I mean, I post a lot, but I'm not like in the hundred thousands of subscribers or anything. And so that almost makes it it feels a little safer, because it's more of a small community. But I also need to understand that maybe one day it won't be, and people can go back and watch these videos, and then my worst fear is that someone would use the information that I have shared in my videos to take advantage of me, because I'm also the type of person who's extremely trusting. Overall, I think the lesson of this video for myself is that I need to be a little more careful, be a little more protective of myself, because I have value. And this is something that I've kind of been processing for a couple weeks now, is that I have value and my life story has value. And with insecurity, I feel like we start to think that other people have more value than we do. when you get down to the bare bones of it, we are both humans and we are both people experiencing everything and experiencing the universe and experiencing feelings and emotions, and we're all experiencing traumas, and people may act like they're better than you, or people may act like their time is more valuable than yours. That's not true. Like, you have, and I posted on my Threads account, so if you have Threads, follow me on there. The tag is in my Instagram bio. But I think that we need to start treating ourselves like we have as much value as we assume other people have. Why can I not show myself that same love? Why can I not treat myself like I have that same amount of value? That was my little rant about vulnerability in the internet. If you could relate to it, leave a comment down below, and we can get a conversation going, or we don't have to. That's where I'm like, the boundary has to be set where if you're not comfortable sharing, you don't have to. Because I constantly feel like even if I'm not comfortable sharing something, I have to share it to be understood. But I can be understood as a human being, as who I am in front of you, versus everything about my past. I am me, regardless of the things that have happened to me. And I think that's kind of beautiful. Thank you guys for watching and for listening. Leave a like and subscribe. That would be awesome. I've been on the video making grind these past couple weeks, so I hope you guys are enjoying all of those. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Love you.